Hey guys, remember in my outfit video a couple of weeks ago how I was lamenting the fact that I didn't own any collared shirts and that I had tried to make some, but the patterns were just had too many pieces, too many steps. Well, I remembered that I had some patterns for detached collars. They're basically just the collar of a shirt that you would place over like a sweater or something. I don't remember who they're from. I just know that they're from Etsy. So there's a Peter Pan collar, a pilgrim collar, and a sailor collar. I'm not doing the sailor collar today. I don't know how good these are going to be. I've never used them before. And they have the lines for all the different sizes on there, and it's like, use this specific program to have it just show the lines for the size you need. That program doesn't exist in America as far as I understand it. Or maybe it does and I just can't find it. I don't know. I remember trying to find it back when I bought these and I couldn't get anything to work. Regardless, I have some fabrics picked out. This is one of them. Here are some of the others. I got this kind of umbrella design and this kind of Japanese painting inspired one. A bit more of a plain one with this plaid, I think it would be called. And then these two, which I can kind of see being for reversible, where it's got the solid color on one side and then the print that shares the same color, the green, on the other side. And then this brown fabric here that I just finished ironing before remembering that I should be filming this. So I don't know how well the pattern's going to work, like fit-wise, because it says it's a large, but like the sizes is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, small, medium, and large. And when I like place this on, like kind of trying to line up that center fold, I don't know, it feels like it doesn't sit right. I don't know. I did cut off the seam allowance on the inside curve here to just make it fit a little bit. I felt like it was too tight. So I just cut off that seam allowance and I'll treat that as the new seam allowance. So hopefully that will kind of help with the fit. I think it's 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Maybe that's 1/2 an inch. And I think my seam allowance is, like the way I tend to do seam allowance on that is about 1/2 an inch with my machine. Just because of the way I sew. So hopefully that will work out. Let's get to cutting out the fabric. I just realized I don't have a backing fabric, so I gotta cut out 2 of these. Both of them on the fold. What fabric do I have? I have to figure that out. Okay, it is day 2. I got one collar done yesterday. A couple of changes. The umbrella and like Japanese painting fabric I decided not to use. I realized that it's not going to match anything that I own, so I only picked it because it's really pretty fabric. And I forgot to mention yesterday, or I think I forgot to mention yesterday, I'm going to be using this cotton eyelet fabric that I had tea stains. I had made it into a skirt that I never wore, and you may recognize it, you may not. I used the scalloped edge. It had like a scalloped edge on both sides. I used the scallop edge for the ruffle on that brown dress that I made, as well as for the collar. And since I love the collar on that dress so much, I thought I'll make another one. I used the Peter Pan collar yesterday on the brown one. I don't know if I'm going to use the Peter Pan collar again or use the Pilgrim collar. Pilgrim collar is a little bit more pointed. I also pulled some trim. So remember, there's this fabric that's got the green in it, and then I'm going to use the solid green for the back. I pulled some green ribbon that I have to be the ties for that. For the plaid, I realized with the brown that I need a second fabric to be a backing, because one of these is only a fat quarter and it's not enough for 2 pieces. So I got this plaid, and I'm going to back it with this beige striped fabric, and it could be reversible. And with that one, I'm going to add this beige ruffle lace trim, and probably have the ties for either that or the eyelet fabric be this beige gross grain ribbon or herringbone tape. I think that's herringbone tape. Alternatively, I also have this crochet lace trim. I also kind of want to like trim one of them in this, but I'm not sure. I might just use it as like a tie instead. I think that's it. I don't think I planned on doing any kind of fancy ruffle or anything for this one, but this is what I'm going to do next. We'll see how far I get today. I'm starting a little bit earlier today than I did yesterday. Yesterday I had to do some cleaning in here, and that took me a little bit. I also started a little later just in general. I'm starting a little bit earlier today. Yeah, it's only 1 o'clock, and we'll see how far I get. Okay, it is day 3. I got 2 more collars done yesterday. I just have 1 more left to do. This one is probably the most complicated without actually being like super complicated because I want to put lace trim around the outside edge. And basically, the way you do that, it's kind of like what I've been doing with the ties at the front. Basically, what you do is you're pinning the fabric right sides together, so the outside, whatever that looks like. Pin the fabric right sides together, and you also pin the trim pointing inward. So you have your 2 pieces of fabric right sides together, and the lace points inward. I'll show you. And so that when you turn it out, it's sticking out the right way. I've never actually done this before. It's not that hard. It's just daunting, I guess is the right way to put it. It's kind of daunting. So yeah, it's this lace with these fabrics. This is going to be the top, and it's technically reversible, so this is the bottom, but also can be the top. And I think I'm just going to use this crochet trim as like the ties. Okay, I have all the collars done. There's a couple of little things that I want to do first, but I'm basically done. Just some final touches, and I'll see you at the reveal. And there they all are. I had a lot of fun working on this. I think they're really cute. I really like the beading that I did on two of them. Um, I definitely wanted two that were like not white, but like a lighter color, just so that I have something that's a little bit more stark compared to all of my darker or bright colored like sweaters and shirts and stuff like that. They weren't too hard to do. You definitely have to go slow around those curves so you don't like too close to the edge or go completely off the edge. The eyelet fabric does give me issues a little bit just because there's occasionally spots where there's no fabric that I'm sewing over because of the way that the eyelets line up with each other. And the lace on this one also kind of gave me an issue. It's not great up where the ties are. I wanted it to be a little bit neater, but like I said, I've never done this before. But yeah, I really like how they turned out. I like that technically three of them are reversible. The brown, the green, and this one. The brown, it's so subtle, the difference between the two sides. Like, this is the fabric that I intended to be the only side before I remembered that I needed a lining. And then this is the other side. So like I could technically wear both sides on that one, but it's they're very similar. I mean, I guess the same could be said for this one. It's just like a plaid versus like a subtle stripe. Um, but yeah, I really liked working on these. I'll probably make more someday, uh, just because it's good to have like versatility. Like this is the same brown sweater and it looks completely different with all of them. So like just that alone, yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy crochet, sewing, or any other kinds of crafts, please consider a follow. I upload every Sunday and I hope to see you there. Bye.